first general strike against the new government in Greece on September the 26th was militant throughout the country. The Real News reports from the city of Chania on the island of Crete. Chania is a city of 60,000 inhabitants, heavily dependent on tourism for income. It is also home to strong unions and left organizations. Several thousand people showed up on the strike march in Chania. Unions and left groups participated in an organized fashion. Even secondary school students formed their own bloc on the demonstration, with their own slogan. Many left and anti-bailout parties featured prominently on the march.
My name is Marcos Georginakis and I'm a member of United People's Front. We're demonstrating against European Union and IMF.
Yeah.
They have made Greece a protectorate. If we let them, if we not demonstrate, they will continue imposing new measurements against us. If not all the people unite together, all Greeks unite together to demand to stop all this, we'll be slaves next years. Doesn't matter if you're a worker, if you have a store, an owner, doctor, nothing. They'll all be slaves. They will be working 16 hours a day, no insurance, no rights, nothing. So we'll be working poor.
Unions struck against the memorandum of the Troika, but also raised their own specific demands. Hospital workers struck demanding sorely needed supplies. The Real News spoke to Dr. Vironos Nikardopoulos, striking doctors' union rep and member of the scientific board of the hospital.
There's always some people that still work at the hospital so that they can take care in every means they can, of course, of the emergency patients. And the rest of the doctors are on strike. We demand money and supplies for the hospital. And we've seen our salaries being reduced to almost half of what it was 2 years ago. And of course, with all the money going to the banks and having this government saying every time that everything is going to get better. But this is not the case, of course.
Dr. Nikardopoulos confirms that the lack of medical supplies impairs the basic functioning of the hospital staff.
It's not always sure that you can find the right stitches. For example, if a child is wounded, the doctor might not have the right stitch to fix his scar, so it might leave a big scar on the face of the child, for example. Or the other time that I went there in the emergencies, there was a guy vomiting and throwing all over, and there was no paper to wash his face clean. So there are huge shortages right now in the Greek hospitals, and of course in the hospital that I work right now. So many people have to go to private hospitals, and of course they have to pay dearly for it.
Syriza, the coalition of left parties that won 27% in the general election, also had a bloc on the march.
Syriza is based on many left parties in Greece, so there were some problems communicating with each other due to different point of views. After the elections, before the elections, the last elections, Syriza found a way to concentrate all these left parties and try to be and talk as one in the society. There was a need for us to resist, to show the way of resistance and solidarity in the Greece. The government is attacking the workers in a way that only through organization and all this you can demand things and get things for the workers. So that was the basis, the basic idea for Syriza to unite as one and be the second party in Greece.
The Social Democrats of Pasok are no longer the main left party. Syriza member Orestes explains the decline of Pasok.
Well, it's not actually finished as in the end of Pasok. It's a mutation, really. Well, Pasok started as a, let's say, left party, and through the years it became more conservative, and it ended up like this. It's the most violent attack in the workers in many years here in Greece, and it's made by a left party. So it's more like a mutation.
Many union reps are members of radical left parties. Syriza, a primary school teachers rep, is a member of the anti-capitalist coalition Austerity. Austerity and Syriza together have majorities in both teachers' unions.
During the last election, there was a massive turn to the left from the workers of Greece, and I think it is the first time that the left parties took the 32%. Not only Syriza took the 27%, but if you add to this the percentage of Communist Party and of anti-capitalist left party under Sia, it's 32%. It is an historical moment for the political history of Greece after the Second World War.
Austerity has not joined Syriza's pluralist left coalition, sticking to its anti-Europe perspective.
We need the correct politics, not just pluralism. So we insist that we need a confrontation with the European Union. We insist on the demand of the workers' control. We say that we need the nationalization of the banks, the nationalization of the big enterprises, and to impose on them the workers' control through the committees of the workers.
So workers' control, it sounds like you're going in a direction of a revolution already with these proposals.
But we need a revolution.
Yeah. Is Austerity a revolutionary party?
Yes, it's an anti-capitalist party. Revolution is a coalition of anti-capitalist parties. It's a coalition of parties, small or parties that survived from the big upheavals in Greece during the 1970s. We tried to persuade the workers for the need of a revolutionary change in Greece.
In the town of Kilkis, the hospital workers already took control of their own hospital. Dr. Nikodopoulos says that this is a tempting fault at his hospital as well.
Yes, we haven't reached that level yet, but as you realize, if you work somewhere and you don't get paid for 4 months, at some point you tend to realize that it would be better if you yourself and other people would take over the management of the hospital. Because if you stay at a hospital that works like a hostel, having patients there, not being able to get the proper attention and the right medical tests. So what's the purpose of having a management like this? Yes, sometimes you get to think things like that you have to take over, of course.
The elections and the summer holidays may have momentarily interrupted the Greek workers' movement. The strike of September 26th, however, reveals increasing organization and politicization of the movement on the rise. This is Frederick Blauhoff, reporting for The Real News from Chania, Greece.